Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for The Fosters, Season 1, Episode 15, Padre. And I was really looking forward to this episode because the last episode left us on a really good cliffhanger. I really was liking where the show was going in the last episode. I thought the plots were really good, and this episode also was fantastic. I thought this was definitely the most emotional episode of The Fosters we've got, and possibly the best episode. I actually think it's the best episode of the season. I really do. I think really we got a lot more explanation about Cali, and also I really love the connections between Stef and Cali in this episode. Something very unexpected, but a very welcoming unexpected thing that I really enjoyed seeing. So yeah, this episode was just fantastic. I really loved it, and I loved every single minute of it, and there was a lot of really great stuff in it. So let's just get to it. So first of all, we see Stef. She's regretting her last conversation with her father. She's been fantasizing about what it would have been like instead of what it was, and it turns out she's having a bad dream. And then Lena can't see her struggling, although Stef refuses to talk about it. She'd rather talk about the kids and what they should do. Neither of them likes the independent living idea. They're hoping to be able to talk Cali out of it, and Cali is there. She's going to the funeral because she is, she's told she can go to it, so, Cali wants to be in independent living now and everything. So that's what happens there. So the day of the funeral holds plenty of more surprises. A couple of surprises. One of the biggest things is that Cali is there, and the funeral is very, very hard on Cali. Definitely, we don't really know why though. We see Cali there, and right away there's some really bad stuff that we see. Because the thing we see is that not only is she's really upset, it starts to bring back memories of her mother's funeral. And she asks Jude, she asks, I don't remember who she asked. I believe it was either Stef or Lena or someone like that. She asks someone, who, is Jude okay with this? And he's completely fine, but we can see that she's not necessarily okay. Because he calls Lena Mom for the first time, and he hardly noticed. And Cali caught it, though. She saw how easily Jude is fitting in, and that's leading her to push Brandon away. For some unknown reason, though, Brandon wants to announce his relationship with Cali at his grandfather's funeral. Somehow he thought this was a good idea, and Cali advised him against it. Now, I actually thought they might actually continue with this relationship, and Cali might actually go into independent living, but then I thought, wait a second, this really is not going to work out. This can't be the realistic thing here. It's obviously not going to work. So again, she's feeling very guilty about her mom and everything. We see this flashback where her whole room is torn up, and she said, Jude, what did you do? So at this point, we think Jude has a really bad temper or something. We don't really know what's going on there. All we know is that after this, we then see a scene with her and Mariana. Now, I really like this scene because we haven't really gotten to see, we've seen scenes between Cali and Mariana, but nothing really, the two of them. They lived in the same, they had the same bedroom and everything, but we didn't really get to see a lot of scenes between the two of them. I really enjoyed this because Mariana tells Cali she's upset that she ran away because she thought she was going to get a sister, and then Cali ran away, and on top of that, Lexi moved thousands of miles away, and she lost Jesus as well. So, Jesus is way too focused on judging his relationship with Lexi and very good friend Emma, and that may be why Mariana asked Brand if he was the reason Cali wasn't staying. That was definitely, very interesting. What I like about Mariana is that she's no longer annoying. You can definitely feel for her, because she doesn't really have a sister. She didn't really have anyone to talk to. She just wanted someone to talk to as like a sister figure, and that's what Cali would have been for her. So then Cali freaks out when she's helping everyone in the kitchen because she's lost the necklace. She had a necklace that her mother gave to her. Before this, though, we did see a flashback between Cali and her mother, and it's her mother standing there, and she says, give me a hug, kiss me, things like that. And Cali's not listening to her. She's completely shutting her out. And we knew there was something that had to do with her mother's funeral. Now, I predicted it. I mean, this was a little bit predictable. Turns out those are the last words she said to her mother, before her mother died. She didn't say anything to her mother. She didn't do anything. And she gets really upset when she loses the necklace and everything. And Jude tells everyone that she only did this when her mother died. So Stef goes out. Stef manages to calm her down, and here we see these similarities between Stef and Cali, which I really liked. She tells Cali that she didn't need a necklace to remember. Her mother was always going to be with her, and it was time Cali stopped trying to deal with these things on her own. It was definitely really great advice, because that extended towards the both of them. And luckily, Brandon found the necklace and returned it safely to Cali. But that was definitely a great scene. Two great performances in that scene. You know, Maya Mitchell and Terry, Polo, however you pronounce her name, they both gave great performances in this episode. Definitely, they were the best parts of this episode. I thought her plot was extremely effective, and a lot of people can relate to that because we all hope that what we're going to say to our family members is a good, the last word we're going to say is a good word, and we all regret what we say. I personally can't really go through that or anything. I can't relate to that personally, but I know there are people who can. And, that was definitely really, really big. And I really enjoyed that scene, though, because, again, we got to see the connections between the two of them, which was a really nice, unexpected twist that I really liked to the story. And after this happens, Cali kind of realizes that her family is the Fosters. That's where she wants to be. She wants to be with the Fosters. And it turns out that it was a very bittersweet moment for Cali, and she has a conversation with Brandon. She says, I do love you, and everything. She does say that to him. She's grateful that he found her necklace, but she couldn't continue with their relationship, and Brandon kind of saw this coming. He realized she would have to give up their family once he saw her with his mother. It made him accept the fact that Cali is going to need more than just him. So Cali's now, I'm guessing, going to move back in. I'm thinking we're going to see her at the, the house one more time, and then she'll go back to the Fosters. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. And we also find out that Jude knows that he's going to stay with the Fosters, and now so does Cali. She wants to come back home. So that's what's going to happen. She's going to come back home, and I'm really interested in seeing where this is going to go. So I really did love that. I really loved her storyline, extremely effective, and I thought her storyline was the best part. Now let's get to Stef. The very end of the episode, she's mourning about her father. This time she's accepting him as he is rather than she wanted him to be. She's saying, oh, I'm sorry that I was so mean to you and everything, and she's accepting it, and Lena's there too, and that's basically how it ends. Well, not at the very, very end, because I'll get to that now with Lena's plot. Now, Lena's plot, as we know, Lena wants to have a baby and everything. Lena didn't feel like sharing her own piece of news would do anyone good and wisely decided to not tell anyone about her wanting to have this baby. She didn't tell anyone about it. And that was a little bit surprising that she didn't really tell anyone. But Lena did fess up to her baby plans, but not to Stef. She told her mother about her plans, and her mother dismissed them. Her mother said if she really wanted to have a baby of her own, then she would have had one by now. And Lena couldn't take that response. She ultimately had to put her foot down. Her mother was only allowed to offer support and no more opinions. Her mother agrees to lay off, yet she had one more thought she wished to share. She told Lena that she should have told her news to Stef, which is true. She should have told her news to Stef because that was the right thing to do. And then eventually, she doesn't tell her news to Stef, but when Stef and Lena are in that car, Stef says to Lena, should we have a baby? And that's how it ends. So obviously I think Lena's going to tell her, and it's not going to be good when Lena tells her, because Stef's going to be upset that Lena did not tell her about this. Lena should have told her. I don't know why she couldn't have just told her about this. We'll have to see, though, when she actually tells her about this, what's going to happen, what Stef's reaction is going to be. That should definitely be very interesting. So the other thing we have going on, which I didn't expect, is, do you remember that whole thing with the shooting when Stef got hurt? Yeah, that's coming back into play now. Because it turns out that, basically, what happened was, according to Mike, he's simply trying to sell papers, or in other words, is writing up a sensationalized article on police brutality. And the story is Stef eventually learned from Mike had a bigger impact than even he thought it would. His suspension's up, and yet still his bosses still are not allowing him to go to work. So he kind of has this problem going on. We don't know where this is going to go. That's all we really hear about in the episode. But it was very interesting to hear, because it looks like next week it's going to get really, really bad. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes, because that was not something something I expected. I didn't expect them to go back to that and everything. I thought that was definitely very interesting, and I really enjoyed that a lot. That was really, really great. So I'm really interested in seeing where that storyline is going to go as well. And the last thing we have to talk about is Jesus. Now, Jesus' plot was also very effective because it kind of made me think a couple things. Now, the biggest thing about Jesus' plot was that Emma came over because she heard about the funeral and everything. She brings Jesus this food, and Jesus, seems happy about it and everything, but you can clearly see that he just wants to be friends with her, and you don't really know what's going on or why she's there, but then when she leaves, she does ask him one very important question, and I was very happy she asked him this, because I thought that this was going to happen. She asks him, what's happening with Lexi? Is she ever coming back? What's happening between the two of you? And he tells her straight out that they are together and they're going to be together, and she says she's happy for them and everything. You can clearly see, though, that she likes him, and she probably would have wanted a different response. So my question is, are they going to get together? Is he going to actually listen to her? Has she kind of enticed him into this? Kind of thought, hey, maybe doing this with Lexi isn't the best idea. Maybe not having a long-distance relationship is the best idea. Maybe I should try it out with Emma. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. He's going to try it out with her, and he's going to see what happens. But, yeah, that was basically the episode. And I gotta say, it was a really effective episode. A lot of really effective scenes in this episode. One scene I forgot to talk about was with Jude. It was really effective. You had him and his friend, the boy who defended him in class, in his school, the one that he's like his best friend. Well, they're using a Ouija board and everything, and Jude actually tried to connect with his mother, and he asked her if it's okay for him to get adopted by the Fosters, and his mother said okay. Kind of was like him completing his other home, and I really thought that was definitely a really big scene. I enjoyed seeing that as well. So overall, fantastic episode, really amazing. There were a lot of really sad scenes in this episode. The show's getting more and more dramatic each episode, and I gotta say, this episode was just really, really effective, especially with Callie's plot. Now, do you think Callie's she's gonna move back in? What's gonna happen with the girls' home now? Do you think we're gonna see them again? I'm not really sure. Also, what's going to happen with this whole, police brutality thing? What's gonna happen there? Who's gonna be, who's gonna be at fault for that? Looks like something's gonna happen to Stef next week. And also, will Lena tell Stef the truth about she's already been wanting to have a baby? Do you think she'll tell her about that? I'm really not sure if she will. We'll have to see. I think her mother kind of got through to her that she has to. Also, do you think Brandon is going to get over Callie and go back to Talia? We'll have to see what happens between that. I think, honestly, in all honesty, Brandon does really love Callie. But the thing is, I think he only loved her because she was kind of a different experience for him than Talia. So it should be interesting to see what happens between that. And also, what about Jesus? Do you think he's going to try it out with Emma? Or do you think that he's not going to listen to her and they're just going to be friends? What do you think? But that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review of Teen Wolf. So, see you then. Bye.